All right, hello everybody. Welcome. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures, and we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here before we get into anything serious. All right, and I'm getting the chat room up right now. It is true. Sometimes I take Saturday nights off, but I worked here today. I replaced a pump here at the house. I've been working on the studio. I got the SSTV feed back up. Been working on that. I've got some of the new equipment in. I've been working on that. And so I decided, well, let's just go on for a little while and see what's going on around the world. So there we go. We're watching right now. We've got a number of live streams going on. And there's actually just two or three. We're getting duplicates and stuff because there's just not a lot going on. One of those shots is downtown Portland. The one right here. The one here, this one up here, right there. That one is that ice center in Portland, but there's nothing really going on there. There's like 5 people standing around. And then most of these other ones, some of these other ones are Chicago. Now I'm wondering if that's supposed to be Portland, but I guess it would be. It gets dark early now. All right. Anyway, not going to be on but about an hour tonight. I'm going to do an unboxing of a new radio, and I'm going to demonstrate programming it real quick. So that'll be interesting. Even if you're not a ham radio person, if you're into prepping, if you're into technology, if you're into communications, if you're into really cool shit that doesn't cost a lot of money, I've got something for you here in just a few minutes. We are going to be unboxing a new radio, and I'm going to be hooking it up to my programmer, and I'm going to show you on the screen the process that I'm going to use tonight to program the channels into it, and then we'll test it. We'll see if it works. So this will be cool. I'm going to show you what comes in the box. This is standard from Baofeng. It comes with 2 antennas. It comes with all kinds of neat stuff, and we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. I'm also going to talk to you about a few other things that I got here, and this coming weekend, obviously not this weekend, but next weekend, I should be ready to test a bunch of this new equipment, and we will be going out on an adventure. Good evening, Victor. I want to show you guys, I got the new cameras are in, and they work pretty cool. You can see here, I've got all kinds of cameras hooked up here, and what's really cool, these cameras, they have an interface that works up to 4 of these cameras, and what's neat is you just select the camera that you want, and you can move it left or right. Look at this, it pans left and right, and you can nice smooth zoom, lots of really cool things. It is a pan-tilt zoom, and so what's really cool about that is when I go to work the parade next month, or I'm sorry, it would be actually in January, I think it is. When I go to work the parade next month, a couple months, I'll actually have one of these cameras way up high, and I'll have another one down low, and I'll probably have a third smaller one on me, and I'll probably have a 4th smaller one looking in some other direction, and we're going to do like a 2 big, 2 small quad screen, and it should be pretty cool. I'm already working on how I'm going to do it, and I'm looking forward to figuring it out. But anyway, these are the new cameras. They look really nice. I'm happy with them. I'm very, very happy with them. They're $175 cameras. I've got for under $100 on Black Friday deal. I got almost everything I bought on some kind of Black Friday deal, and I saved probably $500 or more. Hey, Keltenberg, and hey, Michelle, and God, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Well, so far I've probably got, God, I don't know. I will be honest with you guys. All the monitors are from Habitat for Humanity. I buy all their TVs that come in there. I buy all their monitors. I've got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27. I have 28 monitors in here total. Now, many of those are 32-inch TVs. One of them is a 50-inch TV. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are 32-inch TVs. One's a 26-inch TV. And then the rest of them are nice computer monitors. I have been going to these 5 different Habitat for Humanity stores. I go about once a month. I walk in and I usually buy 1 or 2 monitors. I just picked up one in Blairsville when I was up in the mountains. I picked up a very light, very new, I think it's an, who makes it? It's an ONN, which I'm starting to love I'm starting to love that equipment. And they're the Ryobi of office equipment. That's my joke because of the color. Anyway, the point is that TV, I brought it home. It works great. I paid $12 for it. $12. Not a scratch. Brand new. I mean, you can't beat it. I got a monitor up there that I brought home too. I got a monitor here that the screen goes right to the edge. This monitor can't be more than 4 or 5 years old, and it looks like it's never been plugged in or used. And it's sitting there, and I'm like, oh wow! And it's got 3 or 4 different inputs in the back. So, yeah, I like to be set up, and not only am I set up to do TV in here, but I'm also set up to do ham radio in here. I've got my Yaesu FT710, and I've got my ICOM 756 Pro 2, both sitting right here, ready to go. I don't have them all quite hooked up yet, but I've got them set up. I'm working on getting them hooked up. I set them here last week, so I reorganized. I had to get them away from the computers because when I key up, it screws the computers up. So I moved them to the middle of the studio, and then the wires are going to go straight out the side. So that way I don't have all the RF in here resetting my peripherals and things like that. So I'm working on it. So it's a fully functional ham shack as well. I got VHF sideband. I got VHF, UHF 220, all right here. That's all hooked up and working. It's just not turned on. So, I mean, it's a working amateur Radio Shack, and it also would double as, when I'm doing disaster coverage. It comes in pretty handy here. Anyway, yeah, so I put a lot into this studio because I'm trying to provide you guys with professional quality at YouTube prices. Let me put it that way to be a smartass. I want you guys to, just because I'm a YouTube content provider doesn't mean I should have piles of dirty laundry in the background and a shitty camera, and you shouldn't hear this air conditioner all the time, and I'm still working on that. And you tell him, Daddy, this is my co-host, Daddy Kitty. But anyway, I want to put out a professional broadcast image. So this coming weekend, I'm taking my new Ryzen 9 gaming laptop with 64 megabytes of RAM and a 1 tera SSD hard drive, and the gaming platform Ryzen 9. I'm going to take that I had that. I ordered that specifically for this. Yeah, I built it as a broadcast computer, and then it's going to be an amazing computer. And that I'm building a deck in my car, and the computer will go in my car. Now I want to show you guys something that I got to go with the computer. This is the first new monitor that I've purchased in probably 10 years or more. I don't buy them, but this I bought. What this is, it's the plastic protector still on the front, but it's a monitor. It's a little very thin. It looks just like the lid of your laptop. And it's got the adapter on the back. And what it does, it goes next to your laptop, and it's got a little kickstand that comes down, and it hooks onto your laptop screen. So in other words, the left side of it hooks onto your screen, the right side of it has a little kickstand, and it gives you two functioning monitors on your laptop. So when I set up my little table there to broadcast live at the Edison Festival of Light Parade, I will have my laptop and it will have two screens, not just one, because I can't broadcast a show. I can barely do it with two. You have no idea how small I have to make everything just to do it with two. But we're going to do it. So that's what I got. This back piece, this hooks onto the laptop, and this gives you a multi-screen. Now, I found this Black Friday deal, one-day deal. Really nice laptop bag. It's a military style bag. It's got the Velcro patches on it. It's got about 20 different pockets. It's got two different sections that are padded, and I've already checked it out. The screen will fit down in one of the sections, and the computer will fit down in the other one, and then my tablet will fit down behind that. So I can have all three of those down in here at one time and still have plenty of room to have all the power supplies and the wires and all the different things that go along with it, plus a travel keyboard and a travel mouse, because I don't like using laptop touch pads and things like that. So all that will go down in here, and I'll be ready. I can pull up. I've got a little Pelican case about this big that's just perfect for those two little cameras. They fit right down in there. And so that little Pelican case will go in the car, and this will go in the car, and I can go somewhere and set up a remote broadcast literally in minutes. Also, I'm going to be able to set these cameras up in the car. So you guys, I'll be able to pan, tilt, zoom in the car from the front and the back. Plus, I have another camera that's going to be on me in the car. And plus, tomorrow, the capture device will arrive for the back of the radio. So you guys will be able to see the entire front face of my radio in crystal clear high definition, and you'll be able to see the spectroscope and the waterfall and the frequency and all of the data and information there that the radio provides the operator. So I think that's going to be a much more intimate experience for you guys, because you're going to have a rear camera that I can turn forward or turn out the side. I'll be able to do all kinds of stuff with it. And I'm going to have a front dash camera that I can turn in any 360 up and down. And then I'm going to have another camera that's fixed on me, and another camera, like I said, that's basically, it's a capture of the front of the radio. So it's going to be a wonderful thing. It's going to be a great way to cover stuff. And if I ever get a breaking news where I pull up and there's some big building on fire, I'll pull up and give you guys the view. I'll pull up, I'll set the cameras on the view, and then I'll lock the car up, grab the phone, and put up a second stream and go live and walk and get around as close as I can to it. So I'm wanting to be, I'm going to start bringing you guys more and more of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I can't do the laptop keyboards are terrible. Even this is brand new. It's good. I don't care. I don't want it. I'll have a little keyboard If I'm going on a vacation where I'm going to be, writing a book or doing something where I'm doing a lot of typing, I actually bring a full-size keyboard and plug it in. I don't give a shit. I carry it separate. It don't even fit in the bag. I don't care because I got to be able to type. Anyway, this bag came with another bag that holds all your peripherals down in here, and it's airline compliant. It's got 6 or 7 big bell pockets on the front. Really like this bag. Ended up getting it for 20 bucks. So you can really do a really good deal on Amazon during Black Friday deals. What you do, find what you want to buy. Then copy about the first 5 words or 6 words off the title, and then go back in and search for that again. Search for the exact title of what you're wanting to buy. Then go up to the upper right and search price low to high. Then start going down. Now you're going to see the lowest price on that thing that you're going to find. Now what you'll find sometimes is you'll find a 3-day shipper in there that's $10 cheaper. Well, that's why, because it's not sitting at a factory somewhere. There's always a reason, but check it really good. What I was doing this, and I was coming up with a Black Friday deal almost every time. I would look up the camera. There the camera is for $179. I would go and put the title of that camera back in again, search, and I would then scroll down till I saw Black Friday deal, or I would search low to high, however you want to do it, and I ended up getting the cameras for 100 bucks. So you can really do well. Yes, that's what I'm doing, Dom. It literally is a DVI output. I went and I have purchased a DVI capture device specifically designed for this. It's like it's more of a commercial type thing. It's about this big. It's powered by USB, and you hook it up to your computer, and what it does is it takes either SVGA or DVI and turns it into a webcam, which is really cool. So yeah, that works really well. I can't wait to get that. That'll come in tomorrow. I get that tomorrow. That comes tomorrow, and also the dual SIM air card comes tomorrow, and then the laptop comes on Monday, and that's it. There's a few smaller things here and there, but I do have 1 or 2 other things. We are going to do an unboxing here in just a minute. I had to get another Mountain Dew. You know what's cool about Mountain Dew? It looks the exact same coming in as it does going out. Yep. All right. So anyway, the next thing I want to show you guys, I've been wanting for a while. I've got these studio lights that I've got, and I can show you what they look like here. Let me. I can actually run this up here. Okay. See, when I run this up to the ceiling here. Here, let me switch it over. Okay, see up there, that square light up there, the square one? I got several of those. There's a red one on the left right there by the air conditioner, and there's a blue one up here on the right. That gives me the red and the blue hue, which follows my branding, okay? Everything I do follows branding, half red, half blue. Okay, so these lights up here I got for 10 bucks a piece. They're pretty cheap. But the problem is they're not all that bright, and the light's fairly diffused. So I was looking for, and I've been looking for, a light that is a light that's a lot brighter. And I found this, and I got this for I think $35. $35. It's called a wash light. You can do it with your phone on Bluetooth, or you can do it with the remote. I've got it turned almost all the way down. Yeah, it's pretty incredible how bright this thing is. Um, I have never probably owned an LED light quite this bright. You can see it lights up the whole studio wherever I shoot it. Um, I'm probably going to get a total of 4 of these. Uh, the only thing I don't like about them is I can't put them on a tripod. I'm going to have to buy a clamp to go on here so that they'll screw onto a tripod. But could you imagine 4 of these on 4 tripods? I could shoot anything anywhere. I could shoot, oh my God, it would be so great, you know? So I think I'm going to get at least 1 more and set up 2 of these on tripods, and probably, because I've already got 2 of the other ones on tripods. But I just wanted to show you guys. I'm going to shut it off so you can see what it looks like. It's a bar. It's made out of metal, actual metal. It's a 110 volt plug that comes out. Comes with the remote, and the program for your Bluetooth is free. But look at that, and I'm not trying to sell this shit. I couldn't believe this when I found it. So that worked out really well, and I have it down here tonight because I've been using it for like an accent light. It also does crazy shit too. It has like all these different modes, and yeah, I mean it'll convince you it's a cop car if it wants to. And it also does standard strobe light. And it's pretty impressive, actually. Probably every bit as bright as the old Radio Shack Xeon strobes were. Anyway, very, very impressed with this little light. I gotta turn the brightness almost all the way down in order to use it. Daddy, you are so clumsy, my friend. Would you like to go out? I'll let you out. We'll go out. He went for the counter and he missed. I don't know what happened. He's getting old. Whatever. Okay, so here's what we got. Let's go ahead and... oh, you know, I didn't hit this. Those were the lights I was talking about. See up here, you've got these like little square lights. Those are pretty cool. They're not remote. They got a little remote thing on the wire, but they work really well, and they're cheap. They're like $10. And then, of course, that ring light that you see behind me, those have become very inexpensive as well. You can get a really nice ring light now for $20. The point I'm trying to make here is I have been rolling all of my YouTube money back into the studio, every bit of it. And I just had a pretty nice check, and I've rolled all of it back into the studio. I bought a broadcast laptop computer for the car, the side screen, 2 cameras, because I want to step up my game here a little bit. I got that dual SIM air card so I stay online. I've got antennas that are going to go on the roof of the car, 1 for T-Mobile and 1 for whatever, it's AT&T. And that should keep me on the air almost anywhere, because I've got the roof mounted antenna, plus I've got the dual SIM. It's got a fallback. I'm looking for events to cover right now. I mean, that's kind of my mindset. Is I'm if you guys think of something, I can't travel more than a couple hours, but I am looking like Tampa, Orlando, East Coast. On the weekend, if it's something that I can cover, I will. I'll try to cover it. I've been thinking about going to stuff like Daytona Bike Week and just driving around with you guys and doing, having cameras and everything. If it's a clear sunny day, I can actually put these cameras, if I'm driving slow, I can actually, I'm going to put one on a little magnet that I can just stick out the sunroof and stick on the roof. And you guys will have a 360 view of everything that's going on. Yeah, I could do that too. But I can buy these little clamps that like hold a small cell phone that will hold that light, and then they just screw right onto the tripod. That's probably the cheapest and easiest way to do it. Yep. So anyway, let me go ahead because I'm not going to be on for a long time tonight. I do want to go ahead and I want to show you guys. This is the Baofeng. What is it? UV32. Whatever it is. God Almighty, I'm forgetting. It's the UV32, and hold on. Let me set this here. Okay, this is the one here, so you guys can see what it looks like there. This comes. Baofeng has really stepped up their game. They're nice boxes and really nice. Okay, so I open it up. First thing I notice, this is the new thing. This started with the UV25. And what it is Baofeng, one of the complaints they kept getting was they dropped the radio and the battery would pop out. That no longer happens. The battery goes in with a screw now. When I put my battery in my UV25, I got to screw it in. This one's the same way. I like that. I don't change the battery very often. I don't need to. Okay, so first thing we got here is the radio housing, and as far as size goes, it's about the same size as the UV17, if anybody has those, and it certainly is definitely smaller than my UV25, which is out in the car. Now in the other bag here, this is the battery. Now, one thing you notice, this is the new, what I call public safety style radio. They've gone to these. Most of the fire departments now, some of the police departments have gone to this style radio. It was a style that was developed by Motorola, and you can see there where the volume knob is big and huge, and it's off to the side a little bit, slanted, and the channel knob is really tall and predominant. That's weird. But anyway, the one of the weird things on this type of radio, the one thing that I found to be very strange, and I'm putting the battery in while I'm talking here, is that the charging points are on the radio, not on the battery. So they're on the front, not the back. It looks a little weird, but it takes a little getting used to, but not a big deal. And you'll see here, this is a, hey, good evening. Hey, everybody, user and Kaylee. Welcome in, guys. Okay, so you can see here, the battery is the bottom of the radio. Why is that important? This is another thing I like about this design. Why is it important that the battery, the entire bottom of the radio is battery? Why? Because if you drop it and smash the bottom and it's all broken, you just buy another $10 battery and you're back in business. So I like this design. Now, the charging pins are on the front instead of the back. On the back, you got your USB-C charger. So the USB-C charges the battery. The pins energize the radio, which charges the battery. So that's how that works. Notice this side looks like a two-way radio, and this side looks like a two-way radio. It's a very back-assward, double-sided deal. The one thing I don't like about this radio right up front, no belt clip. There's no belt clip. Is that a deal breaker for me? No, because I actually like belt pouches. And guess what? For the first time that I know of, a Baofeng comes with a pouch for your belt. And this is like what you would see law enforcement or whatever. This is a snap. There it goes. And the radio goes down in there. There you go. And this snaps over the top knob like that and snaps down. So it comes with a really nice little case. For $37, you get the radio, the battery, the case, and a bunch more. And I'm going to get to all that in just a minute. I don't want to make it sound like I work for Baofeng. I bought this. I paid money for it, and I do not work for Baofeng. So I want to put that out there. This is not a product endorsement. It's a product review, and there's a difference. Okay. So you got this halfway decent belt clip. It comes with the cradle charger. A lot of us like the old cradle chargers. I like having both because I'll put this here on the desk, and then when I come home from work, if I haven't charged it in a few days, I'll stick it down in there and it's good to go. It holds it upright. It keeps it right where I know where it's at. And so I like the drop-in charger, or what they used to call the desk-mounted charger, or the desk charger. So that's pretty cool. It's got the green light, red light on the front, as most chargers do nowadays. It'll charge your battery rapidly, and then at a certain point, it will come back to a trickle charge. Okay, also, you can charge your battery USB-C. So it comes with this for the cradle, and it also comes with this so you can charge it off of your cell phone charger battery or your cell phone charger. I've got several of these batteries. You can see here this red battery I've got here. That's my air card and my battery on my tripod right there. I've got several of those batteries, plus I've got a really big one. Those are great because you can charge these with those batteries while you're using your radio. So you can lay that little red charger on the desk, plug this into that, plug it into the radio, and you can keep right on going. And that battery will keep your radio going for 24 more hours. So, and I'm talking heavy use. Light use, it probably could sit there for a week if you weren't talking on it. Okay, as all Baofengs do, it comes with the little headphone that has the button and it goes in your ear and the whole bit. It also comes with the little wrist strap for people like me that drop way too much shit way too often. And it also comes with a factory antenna. And this is important. I actually feel that there's no better antenna than the factory antenna. This is the antenna. This is a nice fat ass antenna. I tend to like the antenna that the radio comes with. I did a test a long time ago with these long antennas and these tactical antennas. I've got about 12 of them. And I did a test, and you know what I found? The matched antenna that came with the radio was either matching the performance of the bigger antennas or beating it. Why? Because this is the antenna that was designed specifically for the frame of this radio. Okay? This is it. That's a nice... I like that, boy. I like this radio. This might be my new walk-in radio. You know what I mean? Very nice. Got the little screen protector on here. Okay, so I got my antenna on there, but is that everything? Is that all that comes in the box? Oh, there's a surprise underneath. Look at this. Baofeng still provides printed manuals, and they are written in 100% genuine Chinglish. Okay, and this, look at this. It comes with, what is this, a Nagoya? A brie. This is an abri. It comes with a a debris, which gives you you know, more antenna. Like I said, whether this works better or this, who knows? I tend to think this works better on 440 for sure than these longer ones. But these longer ones do give you a little advantage on 2 meter. But like I said, my test did not conclusively prove that the big antennas were better than the ones that came on the radio. I do like this radio, man. It feels nice. It's Motorola-ish. It's not quite as heavy as a Motorola. All right, so that's all the stuff it comes with. You got your little screwdriver and all your little wires and your belt pouch and your 2 antennas. It comes with all that really cool stuff. So it's a great little starter kit. Like if this was your first radio, it would be a good starter kit. So now you've got your radio. So what do you do with it? What do I do with this damn thing? Okay, so I turn it on, and I wanna program it. It talks, by the way, too.
2, 2, 2, 3, 5, 8.
4, 4, 3. Anyway, I don't know how to use it yet, but I'm sure it works pretty much like most valve things. They all have they have 2 channels. This is 2 radios in one. Okay, you got the top frequency and the bottom. It's what they call dual VFO. It allows you to monitor 2 frequencies at one time. You can't talk on 2 at one time, but you can monitor 2 at one time. Okay, and you can literally be like, if you got your guys on a TAC channel and you're monitoring dispatch, it allows you to do both at the same time. You just have to make sure that when you go to talk, that you're selected on the channel that you want to talk on. It's very common in ham radio on SARnet and places like big networks. People will come on there and just start talking. Hey, yeah, I'm here, buddy. Yeah, I'm down the road. And the reason is because they have a dual VFO radio and they didn't realize, but they're selected up on the wrong channel. And so they're coming over the statewide network instead of just on their local repeater, which is what they thought they were coming over. Okay, so this is a really cool radio. I like it. It's got FM. My channel never comes in inside the shed. But it gets commercial FM. This other button on the side is, what is this? Search and seek. That must be the GPS function. It will give you GPS coordinates. There's a way to hook up to it and get that somehow if you want it. I don't know, but you'll also display it on the screen. It has the standard plug on the side for a mic. That's also how you program it. Now, if you do not have to be a ham radio operator to buy one of these. You don't have to be GMRS. You don't have to be nothing to buy one of these. You're allowed to own one of these. The only thing you can't do is talk on it, unless it's a life and death emergency, and then of course those rules don't apply. But you could put Marine Band in here. You can put all the shared frequencies into the GMRS, the FRS, the MERS. You can put all these different things in here, and then throw this in your Go kit. And this is something every prepper should have in their Go kit. This is a high wattage radio. You should have this, and you should have some kind of throw antenna that you can throw up in a tree or something and hook up to this thing so you can get some range. Because as I've always told you guys, this don't work. If you really want this radio to talk to somebody pretty far away, you really need an antenna up on your roof hooked into here. You can buy the piece that goes here for $4. Screws into the top of the radio, and then your UHF antenna connection, your PL259, whatever it is, screws right into the top there. You see what I mean? And now your radio is a base radio. Your 10 watts now goes out over the roof, and it works much better. Let's see here. Okay, so I don't see any questions about the radio yet. Like I said, it has two different ways to charge it, in the cradle or the USB-C in the back. And like I said, I don't know how to use this thing yet, but I want to program it. So what am I going to do? Oh my God, well, I got to program it. So what I do is I'm going to pull up Chirp. Chirp is what I recommend. Remember, there's other companies out there that offer paid services to program your radios and stuff. Don't do it. It's a waste of money. All right, let me get this centered up here so you can see. Oh, please go away. I have one more thing pop up on my screen. I'm going to go insane. Okay, so this is what Chirp looks like. Okay, welcome to Chirp. Now, first thing we're going to notice is this radio's not in Chirp yet. Is that a problem? No, it's not. It's not. I'm going to show you why. Okay, here's my programming cable. This radio for $37 did not come with a programming cable. Okay, but if you look around for a few dollars more, you can find one that comes with the programming cable. Okay, so you decide. You can also buy these. I bought this one, the red one here. I bought this one for $8, and they shipped it to me overnight. So, and this programs all TYTs, Baofengs, radiodities, anything that uses the side plug, pretty much. Okay. Remember, just because a radio has a USB plug on it somewhere doesn't mean it programs with that USB plug. I've already made that mistake. I had to spend 20 minutes working on it, and I realized, I bet you it's still the old plug, and sure enough it was. Okay, so number one programming problem. You're going to laugh. You know what the number one programming problem is? Not software, not radio, not stupidity or ignorance. It's not getting this damn plug all the way in the hole. I know that sounds crazy, okay, but I've done it myself. Beat my head for 30 minutes, and all it needed was one more click. When you stick this in, make sure the radio's off, stick it in, and really push that mother in there, and make sure that it's all the way in. Then, turn the radio on to halfway, okay? You want the volume on about halfway, and then this is important. Sit the radio down. Make it to where nothing is touching. Make sure there's no cats around. Make sure there's nothing touching the radio or the wire. Make sure everything is away from movement. Nothing's moving. The reason is, sometimes these wires get little faults in them, or the plug get a little fault in it. And if it happens to get static while the stream's coming down, it could get some false information, and we don't want to mess with that. Okay, so here we go. The radio's plugged in. It's turned halfway up. Okay, I'm going to read my radio. So I go radio, download from radio. Now, I only have one COM port right now that's being used, and that's this one. So normally I have like 4 different programmers plugged in, but right now I don't. They're all sitting over there in the box, and I don't have them plugged in because I haven't needed them. So I've only got one plugged in. There it is. You just have to make sure you pick the right one. So I picked my COM 11, which is a USB to serial adapter, and then I select my radio, Baofeng. But guess what? There is no Baofeng UV32 at all. And remember, Chirp does not program digital radios, only analog radios. That's good to note. This is an analog radio, so we're okay. However, when I go to the list here, UV32 is not in here. Notice it goes from 25 to 3R to 5G. It's not in there. So I went and I looked it up, and all it is, this radio has the exact same programming and the same guts as this radio. It's just a different housing, basically. So all you do is you set it, you go online and you look up what you need to set it for. In this case, for the UV32, for right now, you want to set it for the UV17 Pro GPS. Okay? If you set it for that and you click OK, it reads the radio. Okay? There we go. Now, it has transferred all of the channels in the radio into here. These are what they call stock config channels or test channels. Okay? Every radio will automatically come with at least 2 channels programmed because they have to test and make sure that everything's working. So they literally blow a program into the radio to make sure that it's working. Okay? This is just, it's funny because people buy these and friends just use them and kids use them, and they just use these stock frequencies that come in them, and they're in government band, God knows where. These are 436. These are the top ones there, 144, 145. That's government band. No, I'm sorry. That's ham band. That's ham band. And 430 to 435, I believe that's low end ham band as well. So, so if you buy one of these, they're just going to have random ham frequencies in them. But if you buy 5 of them at the same time, chances are they've got the same test frequencies in them, and you could use them without even programming them. However, you would not be operating legally. Okay, so let's look at this now. I don't want any of these channels, so I'm going to select the first one, go down here, select the bottom one, right click, delete 21 memories. Okay, so now I'm starting with a clean slate, okay, a totally clean slate. Now, I have a configuration that I'm already going to use. Okay, and I also spent some time on this the other night, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it tonight. But I will send you my config. Just send me an email, and I will email it to you. But what you want to do, in my case, I'm going to open a file that I already have. I'm going to open. And here it is right here, my Baofeng UV17 Pro. Is that my latest one? Yeah. I pull that up, and there it is. It pulls it up on a new tab. See that? New tab. And look at this. There's all my frequencies. There's literally all of my frequencies. All the way down. 300s, 400s, 500s, 600s, 700s, 800s, 900s. That's all the businesses in my area. And all this stuff that you see here, I did not program it in myself. I went up here to stock config, and I pulled them up from here. You can pull up Marine Band, GMRS, FRS, MERS, calling frequencies, no weather radio. It's all right here. And you just pull this down and copy it over into your radio. But I don't need to do any of that. I've got my own configuration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my first frequency, and I'm going to go all the way down here to the last one, which is 953. Shift button. Bam. Control copy, Control C. I go over to here, I select the first row, Control V. There it is. Now all I do is go radio, upload to radio, go. I just programmed 800 frequencies into my radio that quick. That's what's so cool about this. And you can write your own stuff. I do have stock configs I can send you if you send me an email. A lot of it's for my area, but the easiest thing to do is just pull it down yourself right into your own program there. Notice I did not try to blow this up to the radio. Why? It's a different code plug. when you download your code plug from your radio, you must modify that code plug and then send that same code plug back up to your radio again. Do not try to put a 17R Pro code plug into an R32. Don't do it. You could brick one of the radios or something. That code plug header needs to be the same. And even if it's the same kind of radio, you still don't want to do it, because if the firmware is a different version, you could brick the radio. So that's why I said you just pull up your stock config, copy everything, paste everything, and then send the original program back up to the radio again, which is what I just did. Okay, now I shut my radio off. I unplug my plug, put the cap back in the side, and there we go. I can see all my channels in there now. It's a little weird. Oh, uh-oh, something happened. Guys, she stepped on the keyboard and took me off the air. I think it's back. Hold on, I think it's back. Yeah, she stepped on the keyboard and took me off the air. So that last commercial break was brought to you by Mama Bleep, stepping on keyboards for 9 years. All right. Yes, I'm back. Hey, Robert, what's up, buddy? Hey, Elliot Universe, what's up? How's it going? Hey, Dom. Let's see. I have taken the 225 RM, added the SMS to 259 adapter, RG, mount, pizza pan on. Hey, could get. There you go. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing what you can do, because this 8 watt, it says 10 or 11 or 12 watts, whatever it says. It's about 8 or 9 watts that you get on 2-meter call channel. That wattage in this little antenna inside your living room ain't worth squat. But now if you take and you buy a $200 high gain, some kind of stack collinear to go up on a pole that's up 10 feet higher than your roof, and you run that down with a good piece of coax, and you go right into the top of your radio with it, and you plug a little mic in it, and you let it sit in the desk charger or plugged into USB, and now you've got a real base radio. Really, with a great antenna at the right height, 10 watts is all you need. So, I think I think that's the big misconception with these portables is I can do everything with this configuration, and you just can't. Radio transmissions can be dampened by anything, and if you're just being inside your home reduces what this radio will do by 50%. I know it's crazy, but it's true. And so when you're in your home and you're like, I don't know why I can't hit the club repeater. Well, because your home's dampening it out. And remember, you're at ground level and you're trying to propagate out of your house and then through everything in your yard and everything else and everything beyond that, and it gets to be a real pain. When you're 20 feet above your house, 10 feet above your house, and you've got maybe a high gain or a collinear or something up there, and you're actually really able to get out there and get it back, it makes all the difference in the world, because you get that 50% back plus the gain plus the height. So it really makes a big difference. Yes, that's what I do. I call it my standard config. I call it my standard configuration, and I blow that standard configuration into every radio I have. It's in my mobile radio, it's in my base radio, it's in my old radios up there, my new radios, my 25, my 17, my 32, they all have the same program. And I know that if I go to Blairsville, those are on the 700s. I go to 700 and there's the Mount Mitchell repeater and the Glassy repeater, Mount Glassy. All the repeaters I use in the mountains are all right on the 700s. If I'm here, everything I use here is 1 through 150, no matter what. And then if I need SARnet, that's 150 to 200. If I need Marine Band, that's 200 to 250. If you know what I'm saying, if I need GMRS or FRS, I know right where that's at. And so no matter which radio I grab, they're all programmed already. Yeah, and again, I had to copy everything over to the code plug of each radio. But other than that, that only takes 1 minute. I mean, it really is pretty simple once you do it a couple times. And you'll see that it really isn't that big a deal. All right, any other questions on the radio, the UV32? Just so you know, I did look that up, and we were correct last night. If you've got a UV5R or a UV25 or a UV17 or a UV32, the UV stands for UHF VHF. If you have a DM or a DT radio from Baofeng, that's a digital. Just so you know, we were talking about that. They make a DM or a DM, I think it is, a DM32 also that looks just like this, but it's a DMR radio. It's a digital radio, and it's probably about 3 times as much, which still keeps it under the $100 price point, which you got to stay under that $100 price point. You know what? It mentions a flashlight, but I don't see one. Do they make Baofengs without flashlights? I don't know. That's not a deal breaker for me, by the way. I hardly ever use those things. Nope, I don't see a flashlight. Look, I don't care about the flashlight. That's just me. That don't bother me a bit. I love this radio. Very happy with it. Nice radio. Lots of power. Same power, same output, same everything as my UV25. It's just one size smaller. You know what I mean? It's back to being pretty much a standard size radio. It's just slightly taller by about 3/4 of an inch tall. It's 3/4 of an inch taller than the UV17, and it's probably about a half an inch shorter than the UV25. So, but it's pretty big. It's got a nice weight, but it's not too heavy. I like it. I'm going to be doing a video review on this radio in probably about 30 days. I like to have them for a little while, carry them around, talk to people on them, get some signal reports, and maybe even do a little testing. And then I'm going to go on and I'm going to do an actual video review where I put up all the different stats and screens and everything. So it'll be good. I like this radio. It's a weird design because the knobs are all in weird places, and the speakers on one side and the screens on the other side, kind of jackass backwards, but it makes sense if you think about it. If you put a big old speaker on there, where are you going to put the screen and the keyboard? There's only room for 2 things on this side and 1 thing on that side. It makes sense when you think about it. I think they probably also could keep the quality of the speaker higher because of this configuration here, because they didn't have to make it quite so small. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know. I'll let you know. All right. What else do we got? Maybe a headlamp. Yeah, there you go. Yes, I think antenna quality is probably number 1. Antenna height is number 2. quality of your feed line is definitely number 3. That includes any adapters that you're using. I strongly recommend, if you're going to buy a wire specifically to hook your Baofeng radio up to an antenna on the roof, buy the exact wire. Don't buy adapters and pieces. Every time you put an adapter on your coax, you adapt it from SMA to UHF or UHF to whatever, to NBN, whatever, any BNC. Anytime you change the type or the gender or otherwise add any kind of adapter along the way, you lose gain and you also lose transmit power. So you want to keep your feed line as simple as possible. If you're using an antenna, like the one I bought my grandchild one a while back, that I bought him a Uniyagi, a directional antenna, and I bought him the exact wire that hooks into this side, and it's got the exact piece that hooks into the top of his Baofeng on the other side. So there's no adapters. It goes straight from the radio to the antenna, one solid piece of good quality radio line, radio coax, and that makes a big difference. But yeah, radio antenna quality is number one. Height is might. You can actually get away with a lot if you've got height. You can actually get away with a lot if you've got a really good antenna. But let's say you're in a really bad area, you can still do okay because you've got a really good antenna. And if you got really good antenna that you can get up 20 or 30 feet off the ground, and then you put just the right feed line that goes just from there, that's just long enough to get the job done, that's got the right connectors on both ends, and then you get you a nice Baofeng radio like this to hook up to the other end. And then there's a mic that goes in here, and you can use the mic so you don't have to pick up the radio. You can leave the radio sitting on your desk and just use the mic. Yes, there is custom coax out there you can buy. ABR does it. There's that coax guy that I see everywhere. He does it. There's a bunch of them. They'll cut it and they'll make it exactly like, if you, let's say you've got a 40-foot run and you measured it, it's exactly 42 feet or whatever. You can call this guy and order a 44-foot piece of wire so that it's exactly what you need with the exact ends on either side. Or, because 10 feet doesn't make that big a difference, you could just buy a 50-foot piece of stock wire, but buy the stock wire that has the right ends on both ends. I saw a guy one time, he had 2 or 3 adapters on one end of the wire and several adapters on the other end of the wire. And I was there because he couldn't see why he couldn't get nobody on it. And I told him, I said, dude, you've got 7 adapters here. Each adapter, you lose like 1 dB a gain. When you do the math, I'm surprised anybody could hear you at all. You really got to keep it as simple as you can. Baofeng radios, the more you know. Yeah, you know what? They call them cheap Chinese radios or whatever, but Baofeng is saving ham radio. It really is. Yaesu is still charging hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for their nice VHF equipment, and it's nice equipment. ICOM, Kenwood, same story. It's nice equipment. It's really good equipment, but do you need it? No. It's kind of like Apple and Windows. You can buy Apple. Apple's really good equipment. It's a pretty good operating system. It's highly proprietary and it's going to cost you a lot of money. But it's excellent equipment. But I have to settle for Windows because it's pretty good too. It's almost as good equipment as Apple. And the operating system works almost as good as the Apple operating system. So it's kind of the same way. You just, if you can't afford the $400 ICOM or Yaesu, you buy the $37 Balfang. And trust me, you'll be just as happy. And when you drop this off the side of the boat and it sinks, you laugh about it, drink another beer, get on your phone, press 3 buttons, and another one will be there in the morning for $37. No, I have not. I have not heard of a single virus or malware attack or anything that's focused on anything that has to do with ham radio. It's just too small of a market. It is. Nobody's going to waste their time on it. Yeah, I personally, I mean, look, I was a chief of a fire department, okay? I ran a fire department, and I was on the comms team for the county, the disaster team. So I had a unique thing where not only did I know radios and work with radios on disaster teams and stuff, but also I was the chief of the department, and I had to make sure our radios worked and everything else. And I was very particular back then about our radio equipment, and radio equipment, man, it's come a long way. If I was putting, if I'm putting guys in burning buildings, I want Motorola's. Sorry, I want Motorola radios. If I'm putting guys chasing people through the woods in the middle of the night, out in the outskirts of nowhere, I'm going to put Motorola's on them. I am. But I also can tell you right now that I would feel comfortable putting everybody else in one of these. So it's one of those things where I do think there is places for these really rugged, very good quality radios, like the Motorola's, for instance. Very great radios. Some of the best. Probably some of the best ever radios were Motorola. But for someone that's going to take care of their radio, this would last them for a while. And if you got 2 years out of this radio, you toss it in the garbage and you realize, man, I did really good with this. You know what I mean? I got 2 years of communications for $37. To me, it seems like a pretty good deal. Yep, I haven't seen many computer viruses that center around anything ham radio. I can't recall a single thing. So yeah, I don't, not that I know of. All right, guys. Anything else? I'm gonna let it go here before long. Tomorrow. I don't have anything special planned tomorrow. I've got a lot going on though. I'm going to be working here at the studio. I'm going to try to get this finished tomorrow. I'm still getting things. I did a lot of moving around in here. I bought some black paint, and I'm going to touch up all the black paint in here. I'm going to shoot a few. I got a few wires, like white wires you can see and stuff. I'm very particular about that. And I actually got flat black spray paint. And what I do is I open the door, kick the cats out, and I got a big fan I put in the door, blowing in, and then it blows immediately right back out again because it's a small room. And then I can come in here with a can of flat black spray paint. I bought some $8 spray paint. It's a decent quality spray paint. And I'm going to come in and just touch up this whole studio. Everything that you could see on camera. Just that's how you do it. That's how they do it in the studios, the big studios. It's the term is called gaffing, and you actually, on big movies and stuff, you actually have people who are assigned the task of making things disappear, and they're called gaffers. And they even have black flat tape that's called gaffer's tape, that is quite popular in Hollywood. And you'll see something in the background if you look really carefully, especially in less expensive TV shows from like the 70s and 80s. You'll see something in the background that looks like something that's just taped up in black tape. And that's because it's just something that's taped up in black tape because they didn't want you to see it. It's literally, it's kind of like Disney's Go Away Green. If you guys have ever heard of that, Disney made up their own color. It's a flat, neutral green color that's just north of Kelly. And it is called Go Away Green. And they did research on what color could be used, what color could you paint stuff that would make it the least conspicuous to visitors. And they came up with Go Away Green because it's the color of Earth. It's literally like the standard color of Earth. It's green. It looks like trees and green. And when you paint fences and even buildings, sides of buildings and stuff, when you paint it this Go Away Green color, people walk right by it and their eyes don't see it. It's almost weird. They would walk people by fences, and then they would ask them at the other end, you walked by a fence on the right, do you remember what color it was? They were actually studying to see what was the best color, and they came up with this thing that, like I said, it's just a little lighter than Kelly Green, and it's called Go Away Green. You can look it up. It's a Disney thing. Well, with Hollywood on cameras, it's black. It's flat black. Anyway, I'm going to be finishing that up. I also bought a can of Vibrant Red and Vibrant Blue. And I'm going to be doing a couple of little fun projects with that. I bought a bunch of blue tape. And I'm going to do a little striping here and there. I love painting stripes and stuff. I used to do a lot of that at the fire station. And oh, that's interesting, Victor. It's also called 100-mile-an-hour tape. That's funny. Yeah, it's true. I got that. I got blue tape I use when I paint, but it doesn't have any structural integrity. Gaffer's tape is kind of like a... it can be messy, just like duct tape. I guess it's similar to duct tape in a way, but maybe not quite as plastic. It's more of a material. It's kind of a cross between duct tape and an ace bandage, if you can imagine that. All right. Anyway, let's see here. What else was I going to show you guys? I don't know. What's wrong, Mama? What's wrong? Come on over. She's sitting back there like she's all sad. What's wrong? What's wrong? Aw, good little kitty. I only got good kitties. I don't keep bad kitties. Of course, I've never had a bad kitty. Anyway, so there we go. All right, what else is going on? Let me just take a quick look at a couple things here, and then we'll probably close it out. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that three-eye atlas, we talked about that already. I'm not even going to get into it again, but NASA, what a joke with all those stupid pictures they sent out. We're getting better pictures from people here with backyard telescopes. I really take exception to that whole thing. It was bullshit. Anyway, not a lot of weather going on tonight. The only bad weather we're looking at anywhere tonight is around Phoenix, Arizona. We've got an area of disturbed weather there where we've got a flash flood discussion. So that means not even really severe weather, just flooding. We've got some really heavy storms out here. There is really no alerts at all. We've got, we currently have just a few weather statements. We got 3 special weather statements in Canada, and that's it. It is a very quiet night out there, other than this flood watch that we're looking at here between Tucson over to Phoenix and up just south of Flagstaff. Other than that, that's what's going on weather-wise. There's apparently rioting in Chicago. I believe that's some of what we're seeing here in the images above, is the rioting we've got going on in Chicago. The mayor there and the governor there both do not want any help. So it's just a freaking mess like always. We'll see how far it escalates before something gets done. The last thing I want to bring up tonight, this according to Fox News, UFO-like drones targeted police helicopter over an airbase before vanishing, according to a released report. UFO experts warn this incident shows safety of flight matters, demands urgent attention and action. Newly released police logs and video footage contradict official explanations of a near collision between a UK police helicopter and an unidentified aerial objects over a U.S. airbase last year, an encounter authorities had previously dismissed as a routine fighter jet sighting. According to documents the Daily Mail obtained through Britain's Freedom of Information Act, the November 22nd, 2024 flight forced a National Police Air Service, NPAS, an Echo Charlie 135 helicopter to take emergency evasive action after reporting that 2 fast-moving craft targeted and pursued the aircraft over RAF Lincoln Health at major U.S. military installation in Suffolk. The pilots described the steep dive to avoid a crash as the objects matched their speed, roughly 190 miles an hour. That's 165 knots for everybody else. For several minutes before disappearing from view. Nick Pope, who formerly investigated UFOs for the UK Ministry of Defense, told Fox News Digital, the episode shows how unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UAPs, have evolved from a fringe curiosity into a legitimate defense and aviation issue. The disturbing incident perfectly illustrates why the UAP issue has gone from fringe to mainstream. Whatever people's beliefs, this is a serious safety of flight matter that demands urgent and action and immediate attention. Pope stressed that simply labeling such encounters as drones can obscure what might be much more complex explanation. Drones has become a convenient shorthand for anything unexplained that people see in the skies. So we really don't know what we're dealing with here. He added that the lack of data sharing between agencies and the tendency to downplay sightings also makes the dangers from this phenomenon even worse. I hope it doesn't take a tragedy before something more is done, according to Pope. There's chronic underreporting of these sorts of incidents still to this day. This has been over the years really bad, getting better, but still way underreported. Logs cited by the Daily Mail say that NPAS crew called the encounter an unprovoked pursuit shortly after 10 p.m. while patrolling near the base. They had to perform an emergency dive and described what they were as pursued in the dive. by two drones who matched their speed and course and then pursued them for several minutes out of the area. Another notes the pilots felt that drones had targeted them and chased them off at approximately 161 miles an hour. Additional police reports between November 20 and November 22nd recorded roughly 20 drone sightings across RAF Lakenheath. I pronounced that totally wrong earlier. Lakenheath, RAF Middlehall, and RAF Feltwell. Logs described 10 to 15 drones potentially into base airspace and said aircraft were temporarily grounded after crossing flight paths. A witness using night vision goggles reported 5 or 6 drones near the A1065 highway, while another described large stationary things like Tic Tacs. They are not birds. A UK military source who viewed the helicopter's full 30-minute infrared video told the Daily Mail that the footage shows drones mirroring the helicopter's movements and performing a corkscrew maneuver impossible for even an F-15 to perform. In the 30-minute video with pilot audio, nobody mentions F-15s. They only talk about the drones, basically forcing them out of the area. Despite the multiple sightings, Britain's Airprox board, which investigates near misses, concluded that its final report that the crew had mistaken the lights of a U.S. Air Force F-15 operating nearby. Radar data shows the helicopter and jet came within 1,700 feet, and the board reported no other returns. Retired senior police detective Mike Morgan told the Daily Mail he was frustrated by this report. It's a whitewash. There is a whole series of questions marked about what went on November 2024. He said, I have run into repeated efforts by the authorities to avoid answering questions, even the most basic questions about the situation. What is so secret about this investigation? Defense sector meteorologist Stuart something said he believes both the F-15s and the police helicopter were reacting to unmanned aerial drone systems. I'm inclined to trust the initial detail and assessment of the experienced helicopter pilots. It's unarguable that an F-15 was also in the vicinity, but the unanswered question is what that fighter was being tasked to do or look for at the time. They won't even tell us that. The outlet also cites a joint FBI-DoD-NASA report warning that detection and jamming systems have failed to stop advancing drones, including a major swarm over Langley Air Force Base in Virginia back in December 2023, and was kept quiet until revealed by the War Zone in March 2024. Pope said recurring incidents like the Lakenheath encounter, combined with limited transparency from officials, point to a growing gap in how governments are handling unidentified aerial activity, and that without better reporting and coordination, the risk to air safety will only continue to increase moving into the future. So there you go. That from Fox News. There you go. This is happening. This is disclosure. It's happening in real time. We are hearing almost weekly now of our police helicopters being forced out of the sky, our F-16s being shadowed, and then these things moving at incredible speeds, entering and exiting the water at speed. I want you guys to think about something. How fast can we enter the water in a vehicle? Just keep it simple. Let's not overthink this. How fast can we enter the water in a vehicle before it becomes too fast and it kills the occupant? 30 miles an hour? It's like hitting a brick wall. 40 miles an hour? Could we build something that could dive through the air and into the water at 40 miles an hour without killing the occupant? 50 miles an hour? Because we're seeing these aircraft do it at 2,000 miles an hour. So think about stuff like that. Well, it can always be Russian testing, although after Ukraine, I start to really question what Russia's even got. Yep. I used to think that the Russians, technologically, scientifically, were right about where we are, and they're not. They're falling way behind, thank God. The Ukraine war has proven that. I'm not happy about this proxy war, but I do like the fact that that this proxy war has weakened the Russian military significantly, both in manpower and equipment. I guess you can always find a silver lining somewhere. My throat's going, guys. I'm getting ready to sign off. What do we got? Where are we at? What we got? Last call for the chat room. Anything going on out there? Did anybody see anything going on? Anybody know of anything going on tomorrow that I need to cover? I don't know if it directly aligns with the New Jersey drones. I don't think it does, but it was all in that same area of time. But I don't think there's direct daily correlation. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm tired, guys. I'm done tonight. I like I said, I put a pump in today, and I've been working my ass off. I'm done. All right. Thanks everybody. I'm going to use the crap out of this radio over the next month, and I'm going to bring you guys a full report on it. But I can already tell you I like it, and from the other reviews I've seen, I can already say I believe it's going to be a really good buy. At $37, it's got to really be a piece of shit for me not to like it at $37. And I really like it. So that's kind of how I look at this stuff. I compare it, you know what I mean? I get this, I get a Yazoo radio, I get a Motorola radio. They're all a little bit different, but the difference is this one was $800, this one was $400, and this one was $37.50. Yep, good night everybody. Say good night, Mama. Say good night. Wave. There you go. You got to learn how to do that. Okay, whatever. She's like, leave me alone. All right, everybody. Oh, boy. Well, it's been fun, everybody. Live from Southwest Florida. This is Starship Studios. My name's Ian. It's been a pleasure broadcasting to you tonight. We will be back tomorrow night for the sights and sounds of Earth right here on Starship Adventures, as always. And we hope to see you back here tomorrow night. Don't forget our Discord. You can go in there, and there's a spot where you can leave suggestions, leave comments, and all that kind of good stuff. And I'm hoping to have this all finished tomorrow, have all the radios working tomorrow, and we'll go to the next step here. Coming up in the next few weeks, we're going to actually work radio on the show. I don't know how it's going to work. I've got a bad noise floor here, but I'm looking at some filtration stuff, some filter stuff. I'm looking at some different things I might be able to do, and also maybe a different antenna. If I can get my noise floor down to where it's workable, I would like to start once a week. We'll do a little check-in where everybody that has an HF radio can try to check in, and we'll do it on different frequencies, on different bands. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that. And, yep. All right, everybody, I guess that's it. The SSTV, it's up over there. It's up and it's working. Hopefully it'll stay up this time. I think I figured out what's wrong. I've got it up. It's staying up. The 7.2 is up, and at least one of the police scanner things is up back there. Tomorrow, first thing in the morning, I'm going to get the ham radio feed one back up for Florida, and then I'm going to go from there. I still have one more I'm going to put up after that. So I'm going to keep it going, and then next weekend we're going to be doing our first testing with all this new equipment out in the car. So I look forward to you guys coming in and participating with us with that. That'll be a lot of fun. All right. I guess that's what we got, guys. That's it. Everybody have a good one out there. My name's Ian. This has been the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures. Good night, everybody. 7 3s. We'll see you tomorrow night.